Hey guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Synthetic Goddess. If you're new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to be notified whenever I drop any video. Also, if you would love to join my Telegram channel where we share synthetic analysis and then we share our directional bias, kindly check the description box to get the link to the Telegram channel. So in this video, I want to explain to you the break of structure. What is break of structure? I mean, what is valid break of structure? What is valid break of structure? So a lot of people just mark out any break of structure as a break of structure to continue trending to the upside or to continue trending to the downside. Now I'm going to classify valid break of structure into three right now. The first one is the external liquidity break of structure, the intent break of structure, and also the internal structure break of structure. So I'm going to explain all of this. So just follow till the end so that you can understand what all of this is all about. Now, this is volatility 10 index H1, and as you can see, we've been trending to the upside. Market has been trending to the upside. We've been violating the highs. Market has been violating highs. So we've been having series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows on this particular time frame. Now if we check the 4 hours time frame, we can be seeing something else, but on this H1 time frame, we've been trending to the upside. Market has been trending to the upside. We've been violating highs. So our external liquidity, what is our external liquidity break of structure? Now since we are violating highs, meaning the market is to the upside on this particular time frame, our highs are at the external liquidity break of structure. You are expecting the market to violate highs. That is what you are expecting the market to do. So that is what we call our external liquidity break of structure. Since market is violating the highs, now if we are in a downtrend, you are expecting the market to violate the lows. So the lows are the external liquidity, while the highs are the major liquidity. So here, this low is our major liquidity. This low is a major liquidity. So we are expecting the market to violate highs on this particular time frame, which is the H1 time frame. So the market has been violating highs, and that is our external structure. That is our external liquidity break of structure. That is what we call the external liquidity break of structure. And this can be determined by all of these highs being broken. You can see the market came into our internal structure properly. Market came into 50%. Yes, market came, if you measure this, market actually came into the 50% of this range. Market came into the 50% of this range. So we are going to be marking this as our external liquidity break of structure. This is an external liquidity break of structure. We also have an external liquidity break of structure over here. We have an external liquidity break of structure. There's an external liquidity break of structure also over here. This is an external liquidity violation of structure. We violated the high. So where is the low we are not expecting the market to break? Our protected low. This is our protected low. We are protecting this particular low, which is our major liquidity. This is our major liquidity, while all of these highs are the external liquidity. So this is our major liquidity. This particular low is the major liquidity. So once market break this particular low, this is a violation of structure, meaning the market is ready to continue its movement to the downside. Market is ready to continue the movement to the downside. Now, what do we mean by internal break of structure and also intent break of structure? Now, when we talk about internal break of structure, we will talk about our protected high and our protected low. This is our protected low. So let's mark out the protected high. This is the protected high. This is our protected high. Now, In between our protected high and our protected low, we have the internal structure. We had series of lower highs, lower lows. Remember, on the H1 time frame, we've been trending to the upside, so market is giving a corrective wave, but then this turns out to be the internal structure that we have here. So we have the lower high, lower low, we have another lower high, lower low, lower high, then lower low, lower high. Now, of all of this internal structure, you can see that the market balanced very, very well. The market balanced very well. Markets did not give us impulsive move, and it did not give us liquidity void. The market did not give us the liquidity void. Market has been balancing very, very well over here, but when it got to this area, market gave an impulsive movement without balancing back into this area. Market gave impulsive move without balancing back into this area. So it simply means this is our last internal break of structure. We are going to be marking this out as our last internal break of structure. This is the last internal break of structure. This is the last internal break of structure. Why? Because the market gave liquidity void over here. So any break of structure we will have to come back into this area is an intent. So let's check that. So this is our last internal break of structure. Once market breaks this particular high, it simply means we have an internal break of structure for markets to take our external liquidity. If market violates this particular high, it simply means this particular high is no longer safe. This high is no longer safe as long as we break this high, because we had this liquidity void. This is a liquidity void over here, and once market breaks this high, it simply means we are taking our external liquidity, which is the next high. We are taking our external liquidity, which is the next high. Now we had this liquidity void to the downside. Market created this lower high again, lower high, lower low, lower high and lower low. Now if market breaks this high, this is what we call our intent. Intent simply means a break of structure that market uses to continue to move into a POI. Intent simply means market breaking structure to move to the main POI. So when we have an intent break of structure, what you are looking out for is the area where the market will take liquidity, an area where the market will take liquidity and continue to the downside. Now remember, we have our liquidity void here, and our last internal break of structure was this particular low, and we are waiting that if market breaks this particular high, we are expecting the market to come back and break this external liquidity. But as soon as we got this particular break of structure to the upside, it simply means we're expecting the market around this liquidity void area to test it and continue its movement to the downside. If you check the 4 hours time frame, market has broken structure to the downside. Market has given us a break of structure to the downside to continue to the downside, to take the daily time frame external structure. Now this is our break of structure to the downside. This is a break of structure to the downside over here. We have a break of structure to the downside. So what we are looking out for is a movement to join the sell. Yes, we are waiting for a movement to join the sell of the market. We are waiting for a movement to join the sell of the market. And market has presented us that opportunity on this particular time frame, which is the H1 time frame. So when we have a break of this particular high, this is like an intent to move into our liquidity void area. This is an intent to move into our liquidity void area. And when market got into this area, market reacted to it very well to absorb liquidity. It absorbed liquidity. So if we have a break of this high, you are not expecting the market to continue moving to the upside or calling this a normal break of structure. This is not a normal break of structure. This is an intent to move into our liquidity void area. And as you can see, after we had a break of this high, the market moved back into our liquidity void area and reacted very well and continued its movement to the downside. So this is not a break of structure for markets to come back and take this external liquidity. No. If market breaks this internal liquidity, that is when this particular external structure is no longer safe. After we have a break of this high, this particular high, when market breaks this particular high, then we know our external liquidity is no longer safe. But when we have a break of structure of this particular high, this is an intent. It is a valid break of structure. Don't get it wrong. This is a valid break of structure. But it is a valid break of structure to go into POI. It is a valid break of structure to go into POI, not a valid break of structure to break external liquidity. So after we had this break of structure, this is an intent to go into liquidity void area, to go into where it will absorb enough liquidity to continue movement to the downside. But when we have a break of this internal structure high, then we know this external structure is no longer safe. We will look for a movement to continue and take this external structure. But for this particular move, this particular break of structure, we are expecting the market to come into liquidity void area. And where was our last break of structure? This was the last break of structure of internal liquidity, of internal structure. This was the last break of structure of external structure, because we did not come back into this void area. This is a void area. Market did not come back into it. And as you can see, after we had this break of structure, market came into this QML candle. Yes, I think we have, yes, this is a QML candle. The market came back into the QML candle and used the QML candle to continue the movement to the downside. So this is our first intent. This is an intent. When you see something like this, we call this an intent. It is also a valid break of structure, but it is an intent to move into our liquidity void area. Now, if we check another instrument, let's check the volatility 25 index. All right. So on this particular time frame, which is the H1 time frame, we've been trending to the upside also. Market has been creating series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And we have our last break of structure to the upside here. This was the last break of structure to the upside. We had our last break of structure to the upside here, because this was the area, this was the last area where the market balanced so well. This was the last area the market balanced so well. And after we had this break of structure to the upside, when market breaks this particular low, you can see this low did not come back into this void area. When we have this break of structure, when market breaks this low, we are not just expecting the market to take all of this low, except market has got into a valid area on the 4 hours time frame. If market has got into a valid PO high on the 4 hours time frame, let's check out for the valid area on the 4 hours time frame. All right, so we had a break of structure to the downside. There was a break of structure to the downside here. This was a break of structure to the downside. And this is our secondary inducement. So market used this area. After taking our secondary inducement, market used this area to continue to the downside. But we don't care about that right now. Let me just explain this structure on the 1 hour time frame. So when market breaks this particular low, if we've not gotten to a valid area on the 4 hours time frame or on the higher time frame, when market breaks this low, this is an intent to come into this void area. This is an intent to come into this void area. After breaking this low, you are not just expecting the market to start taking all other lows. No, this is an intent to come into a void area. Maybe to our SC candle or to our QML candle, interest candle. But this is an intent for markets to come into this area. But when markets breaks this particular low, you are sure that you have a break of structure. Then you can say the market will take this low, and then target our 4 hours external liquidity. That is when you can say the market will target our 4 hours internal liquidity. So this is a valid break of structure. Now we have a valid break of structure here. But the first break of structure is just an intent because we have a liquidity void here. We have this void here. So when market breaks this low, this is an intent to come into this area. This is an intent to come into this area. But when we break this particular low, then you can check on the 4 hours time frame the external low the market is targeting. So this is an intent. Then we have an internal break of structure to come into this void area. This is a void area over here. So when market gets here, you just wait for an entry confirmation to continue to the upside. That is if market has not gotten to a valid PO high on the 4 hours time frame or on the daily time frame. But here, if market has gotten to your valid PO high, you are expecting the market to take this low as a confirmation. Once the market takes this low as a confirmation, then you get an entry to continue your movement to the downside, to continue the market movement to the downside, so that you can join in the sell to the downside. So those are the categories of valid break of structure we have. We have the external structure break of structure, we have the intent break of structure over here, then we have the internal break of structure. I'm sure you've learned something. So if you have any question, kindly drop it in the comment section. I'm going to attend to every questions. Guys. So drop your questions in the comment section and I'm going to attend to everything. Keep living in the atmosphere of profits, guys, and have a lovely trading week ahead. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.